Hello. Morning, Jules. How are you doing? Thanks for popping by. I started a bit later than I should have done, actually. So, very impromptu, this one. Having a coffee. It's 2:21 in the morning. I was just looking at the stats on the live stream last time. And I thought, oh, let's do another sort of how-to video on the fly using the software that I use for editing, which is called Final Cut Pro 10. So that's what we'll be using. Yeah, I'm very much insomniac. Terrible. Get more done in the evenings. Just call me Badger. Fun Cut Pro for certain, for certain. Lots of fun with this, oh my goodness. Zoom out a bit, maybe you can see a bit more. There we go. So what I've got is a tremendous amount of footage from Songkran last year, and I did 2 videos from it. Part 1, which was left saying part 2 coming soon, and it never happened, part 2, and I did a teaser. They're just the 2 videos I've done. Yep. But there's so much more footage, and the whole intention was to make the most epic looking Songkran video that somebody's published, so I never got round to it. I don't know why. Just got lots were happening last year. I did miss Justin's live stream. Yeah, I've missed a lot. I just started a new project in the last couple of days as well. Mentoring somebody in the same, so I've been busy getting my teeth into that for them. And sharing some of the content that I've got again, because I've got just too much content, to be fair. I say too much, I guess you can never have too much content. You just never know or when you're going to get around to using it. Lots of jobs, lots of new jobs actually this week. Oh, here we go, what's this? Oh, this is Mickey Mau Mau, Team Tietastic member, in front of the camera star, nearly getting run over on our first day of Songkran because he walks out without looking. Thankfully the taxi driver saw him. Nearly noticed just before it was too late. So that's going to go in now. Excuse me, I'm sipping away at coffee here. I just fancied a coffee. I don't need a coffee. Just fancied one. Right, most of this we've used two cameras filming. The Canon G7X Pro Mark II and what's the other one called? SJ Cam S7 Star for waterproof purposes. But I think this actual footage here, we were in this bar called Kun Bar, which is near the D Hotel on Soy Bacau. So we plonked ourselves down. We're just watching the world go by. This, in fact, this street, oh my gosh, it turned into a one-way street because all the traffic was trying to escape Second Road. And it did actually get gridlocked at one point. It was crazy. Yeah, so the SJ Cam 7, Star 7 or SJ Cam 7 Star, can't remember now. That's got a waterproof housing. But this camera I'm using here, thankfully, I think I was taking a chance, but I'm using the G7X Mark II here, the Canon, without a waterproof housing, so I was taking a bit of a risk there. But usually when you're sitting in a bar, you tend not to get attacked too much. You usually get attacked at close quarters, like what happened to us was we were getting these crafty girls that were working in the bar coming up behind us without unwittingly pouring freezing cold water down our trunks, down our shorts. So there's no what editing software do you use, George? I used to use, for a very short period of time, iMovie. I wanted to learn both, but there was just this one just has so much to learn. I just had to stick with one, so I stuck with this. My free trial was up and I learned a lot about it, and I thought, oh great, this is powerful. Oh, you've not edited anything yet? Have you not? Oh, okay. Well, there's a few editing suites out there that are free to use or free trial that you could, even if you edit it on your phone or if you've already got an existing PC, you can use something like Filmora. Yeah, the MacBook, this is what we're editing on now, a MacBook Pro 15-inch Retina. This is the model previous to the latest. This is the 2014 Plus model. But yeah, it's very good. i7 processor, whatever that means. 16 gig of RAM. 250 gig hard drive. What I'm looking for is a different project actually, because I've got several projects. Alright, so we started a new project. This is called Top Tips in Final Cut Pro 10 on the fly. So it's completely empty, devoid of anything. What we have to do is import media. Well, I've already imported it into this other library. You have libraries, projects, events. I stick to what I understand. A library contains lots of files. A project is you can have several projects within the library, and everything that you import stored in the library, and then you can use it for each of the projects within the library. I keep my videos on this now, an external hard drive, and this is a CGAT one, 2 terabytes. What I found is you really have to, I'll give you an example. When you're creating these videos, they are very, very much hard drive hungry, and they will eat up your storage in a matter of no time. The backup plan is not to be phased whether or not I lose the footage in its raw format. That doesn't bother me so much, because everything that I do, I'm looking to enhance and better what it is I've done in the past. So I'm not too phased whether or not I lose it, especially when at the moment the only backup I have is it being stored on YouTube, and I may use another online free storage provider as well. Oh, okay. Yeah, see, I don't have a PC anymore. It's been over 5 years since I've used a PC. Also, the drive on this laptop is partitioned as well, so it's in 2 parts. And all of the items on the laptop back up automatically to the hard drive as well. So in a sense, I should be covered. I'm happy anyway. I'm not like feeling, oh, I've got to have another hard drive in case this hard drive is stolen or gets lost, or yeah. Oh, it's a standalone drive, isn't it? Yeah, I guess that's what this CGAT one is, I guess, isn't it? Just USB plug-in. So that is essentially my backup, as well as the drive where I store everything now, because the laptop is used mainly now for processing. And that's been the wise words of many that have said when they're using this Final Cut Pro program, is to just use your laptop as a processing machine. It does heat up quite a bit as well once you start rendering, and that's when you're starting to render files. That's when you can have it rendering as you're making the project, and it renders automatically, or at the point of when you go to complete the project, and that's when it uses up a hell of a lot of files on your megabytes rather. For example, the last one I did was about, I can't remember now, if let's say we did a 2-hour production, that would be between 13 and 18 gigabytes typically, and then the final product would be about between 8 and 13 gig. And the majority of, well, you can have tens and tens of gigs used up. So what I tend to do is, which is something I wanted to show you in case you ever use this software, if you go up to File, you can go down and, let's see, select a project, File, there we go, delete project, generated project files. This is a top tip really. A lot of people don't realise when their machine is running out of memory, if they go and do this, you can delete all the render files, the optimized media and the proxy media, and I tend to click all three of those. Yeah, I won't do it in this instance, carry it out, because there's some bits here that I might want to use that's already been rendered. But typically after I finish the project and it's been published, I would go in and delete, if I remember to do it, all of those for each of the projects here that I'm highlighting. So what I've got is, I've got a blank project, which is down here, and I want to import media. Now, given that I've imported it already into another library, I'm just going to steal it from these other libraries, and there may be some more on the hard drive as well. For the purpose of this stream, I won't bother looking for any more to import. I shall just take it from these other libraries here. Now I've asked him to do some videoing, and with his phone, but he's hopeless. He's a self-confessed, I'm too old for that, I can't do that, and I can't until I show him how, and then he remembers for 2 minutes and then he forgets. He doesn't know the difference between texting, messaging, WhatsApping or lining when he's messaging somebody. He hasn't got a clue what the difference is. And it took me 3 weeks in December for him to send me a photo, and then he ends up sending me one with a lady boy that he didn't know he was with. Oh my gosh, disaster. I know he does. Yeah, Ron. Yeah, he picks things up like that very good, very easily, and we've had a few conversations online about bits and bobs and top tips. He picks it up and remembers it. Mickey Mau Mau was a docker on the river for 40 plus years. Reading, writing, arithmetic is not him. No, he's not into ladyboys. He just had his photo taken with one and sent it to me, and he didn't know it was a ladyboy at the time. Yeah, it's fun. He'll have fun with anybody, just joke about. Right, let's see what we got in here. Oh, in fact, this is a project I already started. What have I called this one? Songkran in slow-mo. Alright. So, what I was doing here... Why are you lurkers? Are you asking me a question? No one else has commented apart from you. I've no idea. Maybe it's ex-girlfriends or wannabe girlfriends that are looking in that are shy. I know. And now there's two. We frightened one off. Alright. Let's turn off this music. Horrible. Okay, so do you want to learn anything, or shall I just carry on as I am? Do you want to learn how to do anything in particular? Because this is totally unscripted. There's no planning to this stream. It's simply I need to get some more work done on it. I haven't yet started really. I thought, I'll just start a live stream. I'll just carry on okay. It was an easy vote. Was you in on the last stream when I was doing a bit of tuition, Jewel? I don't want to cover the same stuff really. I know what I want to do. The stuff I want to identify, something I forget quite often is to place within the video, the project, the usual thing that goes in every video, like the intro, outro, although those can change, and they have done quite a bit over the last 2 years. But there are certain things, maybe like your logo, that you want to be in every video. Oh yeah, the thumbnail that I was doing. Oh yeah, that was within YouTube, wasn't it? That's right. I also create thumbnails in this. You can use this program to do thumbnails because it's essentially a graphics program, isn't it? So, and then I just do a screenshot of the whatever I've produced from here. And that way you're not limited as well to the fonts available within YouTube. You can use your own fonts, and I've got well over 200 different fonts, I would say, installed now, and you can download more all the time free of charge from the internet. So you're not looking at coming as cross as everybody else using the similar fonts. You can even have companies, by the way, create your own font. Something that I did when I was in a corporate position back in the day was to get a company to design a unique font for the company that was used UK wide. So that was quite good. Having your own font designed. Right, what am I doing? Ah yes. What do I want to put in this video that I use in every other video? So we need the logo. I'm just looking for it now. Oh, I did see it earlier. Let's have a look. I don't, George, now. I don't. I'm not working. I've not been in a day job now for 20 years, I think it is. Let's have a look. Right, one of these has got, this one. Right, this project here. I thought this had my logo in it somewhere. Oh, it hasn't. It's got an outro. Here, we've got an outro. Are you bored, George? Are you off sick from work? Why don't you look for? Can you do a paid hobby? Do you have to look for a job to keep yourself busy and your mind active? What is it? Why do you feel you need to get back into work? Have you been off sick? Here we go. What's this? Thanks for watching, guys. Please share, comment, like, and subscribe. It's all free here. You're just unemployed, but not unemployable. Where do you want to work? What country do you want to work in or from? Do you want to work online? Do you want to work in what you've worked in before? Do you want to work in Thailand? You can work anywhere you like in the world. Right, so I'm going to copy this. Yeah. It is becoming to look unemployable. You are becoming to look unemployable. Why is that? Because of the industry or your age or something? Is someone being ageist? Or you're not fit for purpose anymore? Right, Control C, that will copy that. Then I've got to find the project again. Where am I? Over here. It's just giving me a warning that I'm editing clips between libraries. I don't care. Yes, that's what I want to do. Alright, so we've got the outro. I had this professionally made. I didn't do the animation. Oh, okay. So you're in the oil gas industry. So you're not collecting any income from anywhere at the moment. You're living off savings. Yeah, you might have to retrain yourself then in maybe in something that you enjoy, that you know you can get an income from to live on. Maybe not, you know, more than survive, so you can actually live, enjoy it, and yeah. Okay, Mr. Landlord. Right, I want to get rid of that last screen, I think. Yeah, I think I want to get rid of that. I know what I need to do here. I'm going to fudge this a bit. I need to take out that web page because I'm not using the web page for anything. There's no way I was going to pay them another year or two for it. Sod it. Not doing anything with it. It was just a practice. So I've not renewed that. Let's get rid of that. Right, I want a white background. I know I've got it here somewhere. Set. Oops, what have I done? Boom. As soon as it gets it there, I want that white background to be there. Now I'm going to change the size of the white background to cover what I don't want anyone to see anymore, because there's no point, and that's that bit there. Oh, actually it's not very... Oh, that's not going to look good because the background is... Nah. The background's grey, I thought it was white. It's just going to look bad. Yeah, that don't look good at all. There's another way, there's another way. I'll show you what we can do. So what we're going to do is we're going to make two copies. Two copies of that background. Alright, let's get that white background out of the way for the minute. So we need to copy this. And we will place it one over the other, like so. And then we crop this one. Right, let's think about this. We need to cut it into two and do it again. So we cut it down to here. And then we do another one. And we cut that one. Is this going to work? It will do. There. And now we need to get rid of that one. Ha 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 ha. See what I did? See what I did? See what I did? So I've got 3 files there. 1, 2, 3. Now I've got rid of the third one. We've just got these top 2. I'm going to merge them together. So now I've got to use this tool, which is called transform, and we can stretch it. Oh, I don't want it stretched too much though. Okay, so what we can do, we will just lift this one up to meet the top one. Ta-da! Oh, it's overlapping, I don't like it. Oh. Why can't it just... I'm not sure if that's good enough. Let's have a look. No, that's not good. Yeah, that's the other thing, and I think that was the other fix. I didn't know why I didn't pursue that way of editing it, because that would be quicker as well. Oh. I've essentially got the parts here to do that, and you won't see, it will be a lot more seamless then. Okay, let's reactivate that one down the bottom. Get rid of that top one there. I only need 2 parts, and as you said, just use the white. Oops, not that. Wrong tool, I want the cropping tool. That's it. I've got to be careful, the colours are similar. At least I can use this then for the, look at the difference in the colour, look at that. It's because it's graded, the colours. Oh, unless I can stretch it. Let's see what happens if I stretch it. That usually dissipates the colours a bit. No, it's not doing nothing like that. So how about if I... Oh, it's going to look crud, isn't it? In fact, why do I not... As soon as they drop that in, bang, what I'm going to do, yeah, I know what I can do. I'm going to come back to it. I'm not going to mess about with it now, but I know what I can do, because I've already got the original logo in Vortex. I keep calling it Vortex, of the vector file for the logo. So what I can do is just have the white background, boom, in there. Don't know why the background is not showing what is going on. I've got to make sure rendering's on, because sometimes that stops things looking as they should. So I'm going into preferences and I'm switching on background render, to save doing that as well at the end, because it takes too long sometimes. Oh, that's why the background is small, because we changed it, didn't we? Oh, let's delete that. So what I'm going to do is just put my logo on top of the yeah, I can type this in myself. So yeah, that's fine. Anyway, so I'll come back to that. So that's essentially the outro sorted. Yes, for sure, George, for sure. Yeah, I'm spending up to half a year there already. I'm of no fixed abode, so for sure. Fell in love with it in '97 and stayed and lived there for 6 months. Not looked back really. So I'm going back a few years. Right, now I want the logo that I use to be throughout the video. So we're now looking for the logo. And it's going to be in one of these other projects. I'm sure I've got it in one of them. So I did see it earlier. Well, it's definitely not in that one. See if this is it. Yeah, we found it. Here it is. Control C. I knew I'd seen it somewhere. Okay, back to that project. Bang it in now. Voila. Wow. 3 minutes long. Can change that easily. Other things we can do with this logo, we could have it shimmering as well. We can add an effect that will get people's attention to that part of the video. However, when you've got anything moving annoyingly, as it could be interpreted, it will be because it's moving too much or erratically. So we just want a subtle movement on it, but let's add something to it, and we'll go to our effects down here. And there are so many effects installed already and additional ones I've added, so I'm just going to do a search for it, and I'm sure it's called, I think it's not Earthquake. Oh gosh, I've forgotten what the name of it is now, but you can do a search for it. I don't know what it's called. I'll have to do a manual search for it. It's going to be under movements or distortion, I think. Is it water? Underwater, there we go. That's the one I used. I'll drag and drop that effect onto that part of the footage, and it's applied it already. And now up here I can change the settings for it, the size, speed, refraction. There's about 4 different things I can change on. And as you can see, it's shimmering already, but that's shimmering way too much. And I think it will just be the speed we need to change, so let's do that. Let's bring it right down. And it distorts it too much as well, actually, so now I need to change, I think it's the size. That didn't do much. Oh no, that, that's interesting. That completely blurs it. Here we go. Yeah, I like that, I think. Man, maybe that's too big. Just reduce it a little bit. We've known Mickey Mouse for years, family friend. Mickey Mouse, I've known him since I was knee-high to a grasshopper, so yeah. That's a friend of my mother's and father's. Yeah. No. Yeah, I think Jorgen's got a lot more to learn, hasn't he, than what my 2-part, and I'm not sure if he's got the same editing suite. I didn't see all of my 2 parts actually, and I must comment on this video. I did skip watch it, and I needed to watch it with the headphones on, of course, because I understand he's recorded it in 3D again. So I want to do that, and I'm very much an audible person. Yeah, I think that logo's all right. Yeah. Okay, so we need, and don't bother doing the intro until the end after the production, because I think you can gear the intro, especially if you've got so many variations of ones that you've done in the past, to be more in keeping with the main theme of the production. So I think I might leave the intro until, and that's something I never forget an intro, but I just do forget to make it half decent sometimes. But I think I'll leave the intro to the end. So what I'm now going to do is look for more stock footage that I've already imported for this project. So I've got to go back to these other libraries above it and go into these sections here. It all automatically, when you import something, if it's just audio, it will go into the audio only section of the, which is good. So it sort of organises it for you to a degree. And if it's video with audio or just video, then it'll be in the video file. And given this is a project I already started, I want all of this, because I've not really, this is just the main body of it. I'm going to take all of this out, and we're going to use all of that video in this project we're putting together here now. Togetherness. Back to this project we're working on. Put the cursor in the right place. Timeline down the bottom, which you can't see. Whoops. Control V, yes. And now it's plonked it all into there. Brilliant. So I've got lots of 16 minutes of footage now in now. I don't want it to be that long, this production either. No, 4 seconds is probably a little too short, George, to be fair. What, with regards to the length of an intro, if you watch the Creator Academy Studio, whatever it is, channel, which is a YouTube channel where they teach you a lot about content, intro, everything really to do with YouTube, they teach you. And it's a good academy to go on. It's free, and it saves your progress as you go through it. It gives you little quizzes at the end of each section, like multiple choice or something, to help you remember what they've taught you. And within there they say no more than 10 seconds really. I believe that's who said it, but the other creators have said the same. And I've been chastised over making some of my intros too long. In fact, I thought some of the intro was actually part of the production, but it was interpreted as an intro as well. So that's something to be conscious of. That part of your video, if it merges in such a way with your intro, then it could be deemed part of the intro as well. And there are various ways, obviously, like with transitioning and with putting credits up to indicate to people, all right, the production's now started. But yeah, 10 seconds is enough. Also, when you go to people's new channels on YouTube, they have the opportunity to create a channel trailer, right, for new subscribers or people that are not subscribing, and it will show a video when you go to their channel. And they also say about keeping that video short, and there's so many people that do. I've seen 20-30 minutes in length, and they really say try and keep that to, I think it's just a minute or two, I forget now. So that's something to bear in mind as well when you're doing an introduction video to your channel. And I think it's quite important as well, because it tells people what it is you're about, what is this channel about, what's your message that you've got. So it's important, and in fact I'm working on another video, because mine is nearly 12 months. My intro video is well overdue for changing. I just thought it was a funny piece of footage, so I used it, and it was 200 people jumping off a bridge at the same time on a bungee cord. But that is well overdue to be changed, and it keeps the your page a little fresh as well, because a lot of people unsubscribe or come back and they've never subscribed, and it's the hook that gets them to subscribe if that's how you wanted to treat your channel and build your subscriber base. Is certainly do a good intro video that reflects the content of what you have to offer, but that needn't be no more than a minute long, minute or two max, I would say. But I can't remember what the professionals say. I think it's just a 1 minute video should suffice, and that's something I started well over 6 months ago and haven't completed, and that would be now my 4th or 5th, I think, intro video which I need to complete. Yeah, good question. But 4 seconds is too short really for the beginning of a video, I would say. You could have it as minimum of 4 seconds. I think what should be consistent, because I think you've got 3 parts to your question there, haven't you? You're keeping it standard. I'm not sure what you mean by keeping it standard. Is that keeping it the same for each video? So there's a bit of uniformity and brand identity with you and your audience? Because if that's the case, I certainly agree with that. And I've often wondered, well, maybe I should be keeping, like, I think Johnny, There Is Something Happening is a good example. He uses the same music and has done for a long time now for the beginning of his intro. I think the intro is the same as well, actually. He uses the same. So that it gives the channel identity, and people can relate to it and feel. So when somebody is like what's it called, an anchor, so when somebody sees and hears that and those same colours, etc., then they relate it to, well, they've come back, they're now seeing another one, and they know what's in store because they've enjoyed it, right, their previous videos. And so it starts conjuring up those same feelings again before the production's even started. And I think that's quite an important thing to do. But what I've tended to do too many times in my own mind is to keep changing the intro too many times, even though I've got logos, I've got a slogan, a tagline rather, web page, Twitter, or, the Facebook page for it, etc. Far more than a lot of other YouTubers have got as well, because sometimes they've just got a channel, right, and they may have something else. But if you carry that brand right the way through, the colouring, typeface, the font, music, all of it as standard throughout your platforms, then that will be quite important, certainly, because it links it all together. So what have you put here? Yeah, so your audience, why keep changing music, is the same. Chuck and Page have only 2 intros, but basically just different. I'm not too sure what you're saying now. Yeah, keep the... You can, I think, I would say certainly don't change it as often as maybe I have done, but I tend to do it just because I'm experimenting and enjoy making intros as well. But yeah, I would certainly, let's just say you were putting a video out once a week and it was pre-recorded rather than a live stream, then certainly have a standardized intro, music and footage up to 10 seconds for the first, say, 6 months, and then maybe freshen it up and change it after 6 months or a year. given that it's only one video a week as well. I don't know. It's like these big companies, these big massive brands, they want to refresh it, don't they? And there could be a number of reasons of that for them refreshing their brand, and change of, well, a big one is to change fully the colour, the logo design, the lot. That's a big ask though. If you've got a massive following and you go down that route of changing the branding completely, oh my goodness, that could, you've got to be really careful with that. Who did it and made a big cluster? Oh, it cost them millions. I think it was the Royal Mail in the UK. They changed their branding and it just didn't work. It just didn't work. Yeah. So it was hard to tell the difference of Chuck and Page's intro. Same music. Oh, okay. Some photos or clips the same, just a few clips were different. Yeah. Well, that might be a good way, actually. I'd come to think of it, is to, if you're looking at making a lot of changes, maybe just don't do them all at once and sneak it in over time, the changes. So that'd be pretty good. So yeah, keeping the same length of time, your logo, your same sort of message that you're putting across, and just change a few images maybe to mix it up a bit, keep it fresh. That'd be a good idea, actually. I would thought that would work, especially when, you know, YouTube now, with YouTube we can create polls, can't we? So we can create a poll and ask people what they think of, say, I could create here, you know, I did one today for somebody, 3 different or 3 different designs of something, and say, well, what do you like, which is your favourite, what do you dislike, and then as a creator one can take on board everybody's feedback and produce something that appeals to the wider audience. So that's a good way of doing it, is to ask questions all the time of your existing and potential audience, what they feel. Like I worked on for the Triangle Bar, I did some of the marketing for them by creating the best dynamic leaflets for online leaflets for a bar in the whole of Pattaya, and we did that in collaboration with 1 or 2 others as well. And yeah, and just ask the audience, and just, you know, one guy put a video out of a load of them and said, which ones do you like, what could be done better, and received some really fantastic feedback from my understanding, and there was a lot of positiveness come back from that. I think that was one of the biggest commentary videos from the community given as well. And I think they enjoyed something different, and being entertained in their views on what was being produced. So that was quite a good result, really. Yeah. In Chuck and Page, the main things in their channel is, hey, Brian's channel, Thailand. How are you, Brian? You okay? Welcome. So we're just chewing the fat, really. We're not doing anything special. Well, of course it's special, it's all special. Glad that you're good. It's just impromptu, doing stuff on the fly, having a chat. And because I was looking through the analytics as well, and I had this massive spike, and I thought, what's that spike there? And I clicked on it, and I looked, and it was the amount of minutes watched for the day, and it was the 16th of December. No, January. So when you see that spike, drill down, and I saw this spike in the YouTube analytics. I drilled down and I looked at it. I thought, what's that? And it was the amount of minutes that somebody had watched my channel on the 16th of January. So I thought, well, okay, well, what did I publish? So I've gone to my videos to look for what I published on the 16th. And it was something like this. I thought, oh, okay. And then somebody said to me face to face, they met me today and said, oh, are you doing a live video today? And I thought, no intention. I thought, oh, well, yeah. And then it reminded me that I looked at that spike and I thought, oh yeah, that was a video. And within the 1.5 hours or 3 hours, because I think I did 2 lots of 1.5 hours on it on the 16th. What was it? It was how to film or edit, or how to film bars, girls, or something like that. So maybe it's a bit of a clickbait title, but you know, it was the fact. It's a tuition. And I drilled down, and it was, and the spike over 10 days and 16 hours was watched by people just in those 3 hours in total. 16th of January, I think it was, George. It's come up as the 16th, I think. I'm sure it said the 16th when I looked at it. Anyway, 16th, it's reported it to me, and it must be that video, because I don't remember doing any other videos around that time. So what I could obviously now do as well, I could click the video and get the deal based on the video, what the stats are for that particular video. But I did it the other way around. I just looked at the spike, and it was the amount of views, not views, the total minutes, the total watch time for that day. Clearly it wasn't just that video, because it's people looking at all of your library. Excuse me. Yeah, so I guess I do really need to reassure myself by clicking the video and looking for the stats on that video to make sure it is this particular type of video. Maybe it wasn't. It could have been some other video. Anyway, I digress. So let's drag this logo out a bit more. Doobie doobie doo, doobie doobie doo. See what sort of footage we've got. Oh yeah, so I started this, yeah, May 2018, was it? I can't remember what, oh yeah, May, I think. May. I might have been doing some live streaming. May, I know what I was doing in May. I think it was May, or was it February? It was either May or April, May. That was Songkran time. That's when this was filmed. Maybe I was doing some live streams in May as well. I can't remember. Or I was just producing a lot in May. Oh, excuse me. Huh. What's she say? Oh, sexy girl. Perfect. Oh, this is us in Climax Bar on Soy Bacau. He's just slapped her backside. Couldn't help himself. Oh dear. Sexual assault in this country. Right, what's going on? Oh, we've slowed it down again for some reason. He loves everybody, does Mickey Mouse. He's not one for favouring Chunky. Chunky. I really don't know what to do with all this footage. What I was going to do was a survival guide. That would be good timing to have something like that done before April. Given we bought a lot of equipment and learned a lot from attending it over the week, what to wear, how to wear it, what not to do, what to do. And yeah, because a lot of people die over that week as a result of water being thrown at them. So there were people there purposely throwing ice cold water and buckets loads at people on mopeds with kids sitting on the bike. It was crazy. What the biggest thing to do is, and I've got to do it with this, is to chop. I've got to edit loads of stuff, take lots and lots of stuff out, and that's the pain sometimes because there's so much footage. Maybe I should plonk it all into the project first and then start with it. Oh God, excuse me. Oh gosh, dropped you there. Nearly broke my wrist at the same time. No, you won't have problem in the villages with Songkran. I knew it would be an extravaganza for Mickey to enjoy, and yeah, and given it was his first one, it won't be his last one. He enjoyed it a lot, but it was a bit too much. You know, when you're going for breakfast in the morning in the hope that no one's really started yet, and yet they're still throwing buckets of cold water at you at 10 AM. It's not good. Yeah, so you have to really get away from it, or from out of the cities. Probably be better on the islands as well. It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. Very tiring, actually. Okay, so what I've done, by the looks of things, over here, the imported footage, you can cut or select your favourite bits, and I've already done that with these. That's what's indicated with this green bar, because I've selected this as these are favourite clips for some reason. I don't know why. Something's going on. Somebody's throwing something. Maybe I can slow-mo that. I think what I'm going to do is the whole. That's it. I've decided this video is going to be the whole of, or a lot of Songkran in slow-mo. I've decided that's what it's going to be about, given that's how I started off. So it's just a case of going through and finding pieces of footage just to put in slow-mo. But there'll be talking bits that won't be slow-mo, they're appropriate. But things like that, I'll slow all that down. Anything with too much action. Get loads in from 7-Eleven, buy cheapest microwave and you're sorted. Yeah, stay in your room. How easy do I find Final Cut Pro, and how long did it take you to learn the program? Brian, I can tell you this now. I'll tell you this, Brian, this software, you're still learning. But to do your first production, you can bang one out in a day. There's a lot of good help in there. The best way of learning it would be to use YouTube videos that people have done, you know, like a beginner's guide or something like that, because they're really showing you what goes where and how to organise all of your media and such like. But you know, once you've learned how to import it, which is just a click away, and then you select whatever, it goes straight into here. You literally you can highlight up here what piece you want from your imported media, or you can just drag the whole lot, and you just simply drag it down to your timeline very easily like that, and then edit it down there in your timeline. It's pretty easy. I pick up things quickly though, so if you look at my, when was the first video I put up? I think it was the 12th of December 2016. You can get an idea of how I've progressed from watching a production back in December 2016. In just the first 3 months, you'll see a difference, I would have thought. Yeah. It is a very good program, absolutely. Yeah, the dancers in the slow-mo. Well, this bar opposite, George, is actually a ladyboy bar. I don't know if all of these guys know it, but they attracted quite a few guys, probably because of the way they were dressed as well, and cavorting. And maybe they might be a bit mau-mau. But yeah, there's some dancing going on there for sure. Oh, God, there's quite a bit of footage here I've favourited already. That's good. What's this? Just a bit of music. Yeah, we can put that in there maybe in a bit. So I'm just dragging down into the timeline. Footage. I could probably highlight them all at the same time and drag them in. Let's see if we can do that. Let's do 2. Oh yeah, we can. There we go. That saves a bit of time. So let's highlight them all. Boom, 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 boom. Oops. Instead of doing them one at a time. There we go. We've learned something new, as I say, Brian. And something else that helps me pick it up quicker, Brian, as well, because there's a lot of shortcut keys, and it's handy to know the shortcut keys. Think about what is it you keep doing on a regular basis when you're editing, and then think, right, is there a shortcut way of doing this? And sure enough, there's a shortcut key or 2 that you can press. Now, to help you remember what that short key was or is, you can get an overlay, a load of stickers set. So on eBay I found a sticker set for Final Cut Pro 10, and I've stuck them all over the keyboard now, and you can see by looking at the stickers on the keyboard now, I was just looking there, which ones are worn the most. So you can't even read them anymore, but I need to replace them all and to learn some more. I never used them all. I covered the whole of the alphabet, and there were others as well. I didn't do any of the numbers, but there's lots of short keys, and that helped me remember. They're colour coded, etc. They're labelled. They're labelled with a little picture, and they're labelled with the wording as well. So that's one way to help remember what this can do. I think if you've got a good memory in any case, like if you're good with languages or music, you've got a good memory, and you'll be able to pick this up very quickly. Or if you've got lots of drones and gadgets, you can pick it up quickly. Okay, mate. See you later, Brian. Cheers for popping by. Yeah, cheers, Brian. George, what are you asking? So for a newbie like me, you add videos to the project into a timeline, then you have a video. Essentially, yeah. And then what you can do, you've not got a finished production just by doing that, but it creates a video. What you do is you start off up here, for example. You click on new, which is just out of shot. You click on new, you click on new library. Right, once you've clicked on new library, it opens up something like this. These are all going to be empty. This is just when I've added stuff, and it gives you a date stamp. But up here it will automatically have all video, all audio, favourites, projects and steals, which is your JPEG files, etc. But these will all be empty until you start and you click on a button up here, or you go to File, Import, and once you go to there, it goes to your hard drive or an external drive. You know, it's like a browser. You just look for the files that you want to import, and then it imports it into the library. And then what you do is click New Project, create a project, which is what we've done down here. When you create a project, it will ask you for the name of the project, which is essentially the title of your movie. And then you drag and drop audio and your footage down into the timeline, and then you can start messing about with it. And then you can add things and do things with it, like, for example, insert connector title. So here we've added, let's bring it in the middle of the screen so you can see it better. There we go, here. So now I can start typing in there, and over this box I'll just type away, so I can put wording in there, and then we can add effects to that wording, and obviously we can change the size of it, etc. Within each individual video clip, so like say I have 10 seconds and the last second was not good, do I just crop? Oh, absolutely, you crop it. You put it in the timeline, edit it in the timeline. You can up here select part of it if you wanted to. Sometimes it's easier to drag it all onto the timeline and edit it in the timeline. But if it's only 10 seconds, it's easier sometimes to do it in the timeline. What you can't do up here is zoom in, so it's difficult to do that up here precisely. Okay, so what I've done is cut out, if you like, chapters from the book and place them here and there as favourites. Now, when you're being as precise as cutting out 1 second, you do it in the timeline. All of the hard work is done in the timeline. All the editing really is really done in the timeline. Yeah. So, for example, what clip can you see? This one here. So I've clicked on it. It tells me it's 23 seconds, 0.02. And what I can do, what you can do is zoom in to that timeline. Now it makes that, what I've highlighted, 6 times bigger now, but it's actually still the same in length. It's still 23 seconds. But now let's say I don't like the first, well, there's not much happening in the first few seconds, in fact. So what I can do is get the blade tool. I've pressed B, I've got a razor blade. Now I can just go over that where the marker is, the yellow marker. That's where the footage is right now. I'll just click on there, and now I can highlight that bit I've cut. It was at the beginning of that scene, should we call it, and now I've cut it so it's its own little scene, and then you can see I can even drag it and drop it anywhere I wanted to. But now that I've highlighted it and I know I don't want that footage, I can just press delete and it's gone. Another way of doing it is, once you have, let's get it back, another thing you can do is actually stretch it or reduce it as well. So that's another way of changing the clip size, and it gives you the timeline above it. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can. So you can see that you can change the footage there and then just review it. You know. So that's a couple of ways on how to do that. But yeah, all your editing really is done in the timeline. Hey Fidelity, how are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. So we're just messing about really. There's no agenda here. It's on the fly editing, creating a Songkran video. I'm going to call the video Songkran in slow-mo. So we're just looking for out of all of this footage that I've got, is to just go through it really and pick out some bits that are worthy of putting into slow-mo. What I was doing was highlighting all the clips and dragging them into the timeline. And I've made the mistake of unchecking them now, and I don't know which ones I've moved into the timeline, so I think we're going to have to get some duplications going now. So I'm just highlighting each of the favourite clips that I've already decided are favourites for some reason. They might not be precisely edited yet down, but for some reason, I don't remember doing it, but I've already gone through a lot of footage and selected scenes that I want to work on. So I'm highlighting all those now, and I'm going to drag them all at the same time into my timeline for editing, splicing together, merging them, putting transitions in between each scene, which is another important thing, George, to remember. Even professionals don't do this on some movies and adverts, is to put a good transition in between scenes. Not everybody uses transitions. You can just simply not have one and it just simply cuts from one scene to the next. But a lot of the time it definitely warrants. 22 scenes there, look. I thought that was a good one. See, this is what some people do. This is organised chaos from China or Japan, this is. These guys have hired a pickup driver and a driver. They've all got uniform on. And they're going mental at it, so that pickup will just be driving around all day on the same BART bus route. Beach Road, Soy Bacau, second road. Beach Road, Soy Bacau, second road. They'll be just driving around all day, having battles with people. Crazy, eh? But given the video is all about Songkran in slow-mo, this is going to take some time doing actually, because there's a lot of footage to go through. God, goodness gracious. Some more here. Look at that. Exposure is really bad there. I need to change that. And it goes, it doesn't even get normal there. There's a white t-shirt, bright sunshine, white van. Camera struggling. And I think I've got some bleeding here as well, so maybe my thumb was going over the lens, which didn't help it. Then I've got to think about music, because slow-moing it, it's just a racket. It's just a racket. Oh. Okay, catch you later. Thanks for popping by. Now I can't remember if I've imported these ones. Oh gosh. They are numbered, that's good. Image 5465. Do I have to go through looking for it? It's just too much footage. Just have to go through it bit by bit. Let's just work. Right. That's a nice one. So let's get the water attacks in slow-mo. I'm going to blade it there. Blade it there, so I've got the splash clip. And I'm going to modify it to 50%. And I'm going to cut to let's get that in slow-mo as well. You head out the way. There's loads here. Yeah, that's right. Look forward to it finishing. The last day. There goes the bucket. What to expect at Songkran 2019. Right, we need to cut something out here. We don't actually need that at all. I'm going to delete that. What is he doing? Right, we need to shift that one to the beginning because that's before we get wet. in slow motion. Maybe not all of it, but most of it. He's got a cigarette in his mouth as well, look. Yeah, I got too much camera jogging going on at the beginning, so I'm going to get rid of that. About there, and the bike crosses. And those two get out of the way. This is Soy Bacau. Fidelity Soy Bacau. And we joined forces with Climax Bar. And you could be, I'll have to do a survival video on Songkran. I've got to do that. There are various modes of attack or recipient of attacks that one can take when at Songkran. We decided to join forces with a bar, so we were like on their team. It was Climax Bar, which is on Soy Bacau and the corner of LK Metro. And then, and that's the Ladyboy Bar opposite. This is in Soy Bacau as well, but this is when we're at a restaurant called Kun Bar. It's no longer called Kun Bar, but it's opposite the entrance and the little soy that goes off Soy Bacau to the D Hotel. No, you've never spent any time there. You've just been there once, so... Oh, okay. Yeah, it's definitely a must visit. Oh my gosh. The craziness that goes on. You can come away with or without Songkran from Pattaya every day with a story. There's so much that's going on. So funny, interacting with the Thais. Alright, what's going on here? Oh, this bar over here and the bar opposite, girls were fighting, literally pulling each other's hair. I did have footage of that, but it was a bit too distant, you couldn't really see it. Right, we want to cut this here and take this bit out because there's not much going on, and then we're going to slow-mo this bit. So, oh, it takes so long. I wish there was a shortcut button just so I could press one button to slow-mo the clip. I wonder if they thought they were going to get wet today or not by travelling on their bar bus. That needs cutting as well. Where do I cut it? I'll cut it there, there's not much to cut. This guy's crazy. He was there most of the day, taking out anybody that was passing with water. Cheap Charlie's crappy camera work, really. Cheap Charlie Chronicles, which is now Paradise something or other. Paradise Travel. That guy? Or somebody else? Isn't there somebody else called Cheap Charlie now? Guess what? I gave you 2 questions. Not the original Cheap Charlie. That one? Is his productions? Are his productions no good? The original Cheap Charlie. Yeah, crappy camera work. It's a bit ambiguous. What is it that you don't like about? What makes a crappy camera work? Paradise Travels. Oh, really? You don't like it? What's his style that you don't like, or what is it he does you don't like in particular? She's made a water balloon a bomb. I don't know. I know what she was doing. That's something we found people were doing. We've got these big blue bins full of water, and then the iceman comes to deliver ice, and you put a big block of ice in there, and it makes the water extremely cold, of course. And bars that might be neighbouring you come to steal your water because it's colder. And those blocks of ice are 70 baht a pop. Cut that right down. Cut a bit of this as well, I think. She's squeezing too. No, it's just one in there. she's put a hole. That's huge. It's a hole. Oh, she's struggling now, trying to put it in the bucket. Would be worth. Let's do that in slow mo, see what that looks like first. Yeah, you keep saying it's crappy camera work, but what is crap about it that you don't like? Is it everything, or is it his style? What is it shaky camera work? Is it his dulcet tones on it? She's lucky that didn't. It did pop. She dropped it and it popped. She's like, no, I'm not using the bucket now. I didn't even know that happened at the time. I had to watch that clip 4 times to realise what was going on. 19th of April last year. You can't keep the camera still. Oh, they closed Beach Road for 12 hours. Right, I'll delete all of that. I don't need it. I don't need that clip. Delete that one. He's getting his shorts filled. We'll have that. He doesn't pause on any subjects. He shakes all over the place. Yeah, I don't know if it was one of his recently I watched, but I did watch one recently. I thought, I can't watch this, it makes me feel sick. I was getting motion sickness. There was that much shaking about. I had to just switch it off. I couldn't cope with it. It was making me feel sick. And if that kept on happening, that's certainly something that would get it unsubscribed. Alright, now there's a good reaction there. After she's sorted him out. She's quite pretty actually, I didn't realise that. So what we're going to do is something different with this clip. We're going to slow-mo it up to that point. Oops. And then what we're going to do, we will put in a I'll show you now. We do a pause, We pause on the subject. I'll laugh at it. Right. So what we can do now, we'll do a freeze frame of that. And we'll zoom in. So what we do is go down here, go to crop, click Ken Burns. Whoops. Sugar. Click on there, Ken Burns. Now watch what this does. Yeah. In one of his older videos, he was asked his name by a lady and he said John. I think he forgot to edit it out. Yeah. Somebody asks my name, I just tell them I'm Ben Dover, or Wayne King. Alright, see the way that zooms in and then it just flicks away. I want a transition in there. So it goes from that scene to this one better. So I'm going to put, oh, that's like see why this works. Oh, there we go. Let's see what this looks like. Hey, what do you think? That's better, isn't it? Pause. I don't know what he's doing, dancing about, drunk. It's too cold. It's absolutely crazy, those big blocks of ice that they put in there. I didn't realise that from the last Songkran I went to, which was 21 years ago. I don't remember ice being part of the equation. It's shocking. It's absolutely shockingly cold. What am I doing? Oh yeah, freeze frame. I'm going to do Ken Burns on her as well. She's a little cutie. Slow-mo that clip. Yeah, Kata have just dropped their prices again. Fidelity here. Down to 4, going out in May, or is it April? £406 return via Doha. I don't know what the layover time is though. There she is, our favourite fruit sales lady. She was in one of my first few videos ever. Yeah, you can get direct flights. I'm not sure if they're direct from Heathrow and Gatwick, but from one of them for sure. I think it's Heathrow. EVA go direct all the time. They never do a layover. They will stop at Bangkok, unload, reload, and then go fly on to Taiwan. And it takes 11.5 hours direct. No, they don't have any direct flights. Yeah, it's quite a distance, isn't it? How long does it take in total? What is the quickest time you can get? And are you on the East Coast or West Coast? Or have you got to do an internal flight first to get to the one of the coasts? Put all the transitions in later. I'm not going to do that now. Oh, compliance issues. Complying. Oh, what? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, we can. Oh, Thai Airways. I've used them as well from London. In the UK, I can't remember if we went direct with them or not. I think we did. Excuse me. Yeah, it might be EVA. Thai Airways, Emirates. You've always got a layover in Dubai, but that's only usually about no more than 2 hours, 20 minutes, hour and 20 minutes. It's very little. Let's see what this looks like in super slow mode. Oh, that's not that bad. Actually, when it's slowed down like that, for those close-ups, it's better. I don't know about that clip though. I like EVA. Minimum is 1 stop. Best time could be about 20 hours. Oh, really? From the West Coast. Oh, you might be able to take advantage of China. Is it China Airways? They probably fly a lot then, because they are. China Airways is one of the cheap ones to fly with, but I've not heard good reports about the planes. Yeah, EVA are up there in the top 3 for me, definitely. Oh yeah, this is someone nearly getting run over. Yeah, we should put that in slow-mo as well. I'm expecting snow tonight. I don't know when it's coming. It's 4 AM already, gosh. This time's going quick. Right, this girl here is going to get herself killed, but she was rescued by Clown. She just wanted to run out in front of the traffic. She was wasted. We need to do zoom in on that, because there's so much going on. Oh, I've done it again. Oh, first class. No, there's not going to be anything. I don't think there's going to be much issue with first class on many airways. Yeah, you found a clear shield on Lazada. That have you a clear shield? You're going to go out with a shield. You're definitely you're battling yourself up, are you? Armouring yourself right up. Excellent. That'd be good because I haven't seen anybody with a shield there yet. Good idea. What I will tell you though, if when you go to your Songkran in a city like Pattaya and it's this mentor, is as soon as you go out of, if you go out and you stand out because you're doing something differently, like for example, Mickey Mau, we had him with diving goggles on, no, a diving mask and a snorkel, a Johnny coat on, bright yellow, and he became a target. As soon as you stand out from the crowd, or you're trying to overly trying to protect yourself in a different way, you become a target. As we walked up Soy 7, oh my gosh, it was mental. I've got to find that footage actually as well and put that in here. That's some really good footage actually, where we're walking up the street and it was far more mental than this, what you're seeing now. And he was targeted. I could see it. He was being targeted, and it was absolutely crazy. So if you're going to go fully tooled up, I'd recommend that you do it well, not half-heartedly, because you will become a target. It was absolutely crazy. You'll have fun with it. It's really good. And get it filmed. You've got to film it, or get someone to film you. That's what. For some it can be once in a lifetime experience, because one, you may never want to do it ever again, but had fun for a little while, or you just don't want to ever do it ever again, but at least you can share it with others. It is somewhat of an experience. So they go out of shot here. Oh no, they're still in shot a little bit. Trying to work out. Oh yeah, they're still in shot, see there. I really need to cut this when they leave the shot, which I think is about there. Yeah, cool, look at that. How was that? Perfect. And now this is going to go to normal. So, but it's that close like that. Oh, this is the difficulty, is keeping that now. Keeping that. Right, here we go. I want that green one to that size. It should flow. Yeah, perfect. I should do it. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Oops. Oh, it does flicker a bit. I need to put a transition in there. Let's use that ripple again. She's totally mashed. I'm nearly getting run over by that bike. Yeah, guerrilla tactics. Yeah, you can do that, run in and out of the bars, absolutely. But I tell you now, the bars are not much of an escape, because they're cunning. The bar staff will get you. They come up behind you when you're not looking, and they will get you. They will pour it all down you. It's usually down the back of your shorts or down the back of your shirt. They will get you. You're not going to get it like that thrown at you inside the bar. Maybe if you're at the front of the bar, but it's quite tame up this end. But inside the bar, they may just pour it down you. Or if you're right at the back of the bar, where people are smoking and don't want to get involved with it, you can escape it. But we need to zoom in on here and slow-mo it up until... Yeah, we might as well do it up to that point. So we get rid of that footage there. And we'll zoom in on him. Slow-mo. Oh, that's something I wanted to do. To check this transition that ripples like so. I wonder if I can change that in any way. Ah, I can. So I can change the position of where it ripples from. Oh, that's good. What's this one do? Don't know what that does. Oh. Interesting. What's this? How much it ripples? Oh, how quickly? Yeah, that's not too much of a... Ah, great. I should be able to copy that rather than keep on inserting it. Let's see if I can do that. No, it's not working. Oh, I don't have to keep I know what I could do. Maybe paste, copy, and then paste attributes. No, it's not letting me do that either. Oh, I think it's worked. No, it's not. Might have done. Oh, let's put a standard one in now. Oh, look the same. Oh, it's slightly different. Haha. Let's zoom it in more. It's 2 or 3 loads. It's because he's got a Man United shirt on. What the hell's going on now? God, there's so much going on in one scene. We have to slow it down again. She did well to escape that. that in slow-mo. In fact, let's put it up. And we'll cut it at about there. I think that warrants a little bit of a zoom. It's not very much in focus. Oh, the blocks of ice. Right, slow-mo that bit down. I think we need to cut a bit of it as well. For sure. Most of that we're going to cut out. Hey Ron, welcome. You're missing lots of top tips. You have to watch the rerun. You have to watch a rerun. Just doing some top editing tips on the fly. Is there anything you want to learn about today, Ron, that you can think of? Yeah, he does, but he doesn't organise it himself. I'm his travel agent. Mickey Malmo's there now. He's actually flying back today. He's been there for the last 2 months. We know, you know, they know us all down there now. We're very well known. He's more at home. Oh, the stream just locked up then. Sorry guys, I don't know what happened there. You not have money for sin sub. He's not interested in that. He's way past that. Yeah, I like it when we make those offhand comments and when we're filming. I've got to say that more often. Not have money for sin sub. Cool, that was going to be. He's running the gauntlet. I'll get him with his aviator Ray-Bans on. Take him on for in the chops. What's going on over there? Someone's pumping one of the ladyboys across the road. Let's do a zoom in. Let's cut that out. Let's zoom in here. We need to zoom in from the off. We need to slow that down as well. It's Ladyboy Bar opposite where we were run. Oops, I don't want to do that. I want to slow-mo that clip. $7,000 for 6 months care for pets. Cut that. Between now and when he goes out of shot. Take me back to Kansas. Oh. needs to be cut. That's crap. I don't know what he's doing there with the ice. Oh, you might be a natural then, Fidelity. Dig it back out and revamp it. Yes, you can convert it to MP4. It's on tape, not on film then. It wasn't that long ago. No, 20 years ago. So that would be, yeah, VHS, Betamax. He's soaked now. Cut. Where possible, cut it out. Cut out. Oh, what's he doing now? Blow the girls around him again. He loves it. Oh, hello. Let's do a honey shot. Oh, really? Okay. That's another thing we can do with this. We can ramp up the slow-mo or ramp it down. Let's have a mess. See what this looks like. Was she holding up 2 fingers? She's holding up here, and then she sticks her tongue between them, so I'm not sure what she's trying to say to Mickey. He did say earlier in the video, she's after me. James, she's after me. I think that one's after me. Who isn't? Speed that bit up. I can't really hear what's going on. Let's make it even faster. Oh, get out of the way. Not really much happening in this clip. There's a bit of a battle going on there. Cut. Banned to the bin. Just do a slap on it. They know about old guys, question mark. They know about old guys. I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do. I lost my prescription sunglasses in this bar. They fell off my head at some point. And I lost them. £150 down the Swanee. Expensive Songkran that week. Yeah, no, I'm in trying A fidelity. Get him over, send him over now. Send him over with a camera. onto the camera then. Her hair was lovely and dry up until that point. I'll get bored of doing this in a minute and have to change tactic. I've never heard of Zenny Optical. Is that a big chain? Is it online company or? Oh, the exposure is struggling. Some Chinese guy just joined in. Oh. She's like, no more, no more. Oh, online. No, that's the thing, but you don't get the fitting service. You don't know how well they fit until you get them. He's like, no, I've had enough. I don't want any more. Please don't make me get wet anymore. I've had enough. If you've had enough, you do not go out. His arms are going to be aching by the time he gets to where he's going, because he's going to have to say that to every single person he passes. I'll have to get another coffee in a minute, guys. Let's put him in slow-mo going past. I'll probably have to add some captions to this at some point, maybe. You can just edit it for ever and ever and ever. Yeah, it is. Fidelity, that's right. And that's something that will be in the video, a survival guide to Songkran 2019 video. You do need earplugs, really, if you're going to be out in it a lot, especially. And not just sunglasses, but if you're potentially prone from eye infections, wear good wraparound sunglasses that hug your face well, or wear goggles. Hmm. Down to 15 minutes. Goodness. How do I label it? It auto labels, to be fair. For example, where is it? They're numbered in sequence. Oh, as it's taken it by the camera. And then what also happens, another way of the raw footage being labelled, it's date stamped as to when you put it into the library. And as you can see, these are the dates upon which footage was added, and each folder you can then open up and go inside and see what's inside the footage, if anything, in each of those folders. Ah, bubble guns. troublemaking guns, excellent. Yeah. So what year, how long ago was that? Did you say 20 years? How long was that? 15 seconds. How can you go back and find what you're looking for? I see what you mean. So if there's something that I want to use and haven't added it to the timeline yet, it's just a case of clicking on it and searching for it, unless you can label it if you wanted to. For example, that's labelled automatically. I've imported this audio and it's given it a name. So at the top here, if there was lots of tracks, you can just type in a part of the name and it will search for it. Give you an example. Let's have a look. So I can rename this. I can call it test for that particular. In fact, for some reason it's labelled all of them test. I don't know why it's done that, or most of them. Probably because they're in the same folder, I don't know. But then you can just go up here and do a search for test. And then just those ones that you've labelled as such will come up. So that's one way of doing it as well. Oh, it was only a year ago. I thought you said you hadn't been for a long time. Oh, okay. Must have been somebody else who said that. I'll get confused. Didn't I see Fidelity in Triangle Bar, or that Sausage Fest that Bestie was, Big Fat Bestie was running? Oh, I'll put some more footage in here. Excuse me, I don't know where the footage is. From walking up Soy 7 on Beach Road. I don't think I used that. Yeah, I thought you was. That's right, yes, that's right. Stayed there too long, the time went really quick. I think I was there for about 3 hours. Put that there. I'm going to get you back for getting my friend. Still no snow here yet. Keep looking. The clouds are coming in. I can see the moon starting to disappear behind clouds. I love it when it snows, me. That's where I should use the foot. Oh, excuse me. What's time? 5:10. I was live streaming, that's right. What's this one here? Oh, I'm really flogging the dead horse with this now. Oh look, he's got a shield. Oh, it's the dustbin lid. Let's put this in slow-mo. I have to find some good music to go with this next. He's got a good idea. Looking at that, I'm looking at it again. What's this one? This footage looks clearer. I've got a funny feeling I was using a different camera there. I've already used this footage somewhere else. I recognise that. Is it 5465? Oh, maybe not. What is going on there? Actually got to zoom in on that, haven't we? She just got me down the knackers. Alright, what other footage have we got? I think I've done all that. Oh, maybe not. Oh yeah, I've put that in, haven't I? It's there. Yeah, I've done all that. Oh, excuse me. How long was streaming for? Who have we lost? You like the rabbit? You fallen asleep, Ron? It's just me and you, Fidelity. Do 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 do. Let's do that. 50%. Tired, yeah. So when I start making silly mistakes, then I have to give up. can see up here, it's rendering now. Let's open the render box. That doesn't look as if it's in focus, does it? Does this look in focus to you? It's struggling. And this what takes the longest. Background rendering. Oh, it's just on 10%. Yeah. Alright, fidelity, I'm going to call it a night, I think. I'm going to call it a night. Oh. So I'll give it the old or that. Or that. And I shall catch up with you shortly, no doubt. Have a good one. I am knackered, so I'm going to let you go and close the stream. I can't handle it anymore. Oh, have a good night, good day, good afternoon, good morning. I'll catch you up later. Take care. Keep blowing bubbles. Blowing bubbles in the air.